Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to layer iron-on vinyl, also known as HTV or heat transfer vinyl. Before getting started, I want to thank BELLA+CANVAS for sponsoring today's video. However, all thoughts and opinions are my own. If you didn't know already, BELLA+CANVAS now offers a way for you to buy wholesale blanks without having a resale license. All you have to do is create a maker's account, which is completely free to sign up. I'll have the link listed in the description box. In this tutorial, I'll be using their brand new baby tee collection, which I'm super excited about. It's inspired by the 90s and early 2000s, which is super nostalgic. This collection has the perfect apparel blanks to personalize the spring and summertime. One of the many things that I love about BELLA+CANVAS is that they offer a wide variety of styles in over 300 colors, which is amazing. So if you're looking for a certain color, I'm sure you'll find it at BELLA+CANVAS. Also, all of their apparel is super soft, stretchy, and comfortable because it's made out of Airlume cotton, which means their cotton goes through an extra level of cleaning that removes 25% more impurities compared to other brands, resulting in a cleaner and more comfortable feel. Now let's get into the video. The supplies you need include iron-on vinyl. My favorite is the Siser EasyWeed HTV. It's great for layering projects because it has a smooth surface. You will also need a lint roller, t-shirt ruler, reusable Teflon sheet, heat-resistant tape, a heat source, and of course your apparel blanks. I started by downloading my images to Cricut Design Space as SVGs. When you add them to your canvas, the images will automatically be separated by the different colored layers. On the layers panel, you can now go through each layer and change the colors to match the iron-on vinyl you'll be using for your project. I ended up only changing 2 of the colors from these designs. Overall, I was happy with the original color palette. To figure out the correct size to make these images, I like to use a measuring tape to measure the width and length of the area that I'm able to work with. Make sure to measure about 2 to 3 inches below the neckline. Now that you have the measurements, edit the width and height on Cricut Design Space. Another way to do this is to go on the template section and click on the classic t-shirt template. From here, you can change the shirt type, size, and even the color so you can get a better idea of the final project. Once your images are ready, click Make It. When using iron-on vinyl, you need to remember to mirror all of your images before cutting. This is because the vinyl is applied face down on the fabric, so mirroring the design allows it to appear correctly when it's transferred and viewed from the right side. Place your HTV sheets on a standard grip mat with the shiny side down. If you're not sure which side is which, peel a little bit away from the corner. One side is the plastic carrier sheet and the other is the iron-on vinyl. You want the plastic side to face down on the mat. I recommend using a brayer tool to make sure your material is nicely adhered onto your mat. It will also remove any air bubbles. Today I'm using my Cricut Explorer 3 machine. I set my material setting to everyday iron-on vinyl and added more pressure. After your machine is done cutting all of the layers, carefully remove the iron-on vinyl sheets from the mats and weed the excess vinyl from the designs. I like to cut around the images before weeding to save any scraps for future projects. Take your time during the weeding process. This will take you a few minutes depending on how many layers your project has. When you flip your transfer sheet over, the design should be facing the right way. If you feel overwhelmed with all of these different layers or confused about which layer goes first, this tip is for you. Starting with the base layer, simply stack all of the colors in order before pressing. Since we're working with HTV, you can easily peel them away from each other without damaging the designs. Set your heat press at the correct temperature depending on the brand of iron-on vinyl you're using. I'm setting mine to 320 degrees Fahrenheit. First, pre-press your shirt for a few seconds to remove the moisture and wrinkles. Then I went over it with a lint roller. Next, I laid the t-shirt guide under the neckline, making sure it's even on both sides. You will always start at the bottom layer. I aligned the transfer onto my shirt using the ruler as my guide. To prevent any shrinking and alignment issues, press each layer for only 3 to 5 seconds. My iron-on vinyl is a warm peel, so just make sure to read the instructions for the brand you're using. I used my Teflon sheet to cool it down a bit, then I peeled the plastic carrier sheet once it was warm. Now, take your second layer and align it on top of the first layer. I recommend using heat transfer tape to help your transfer stay in place while pressing. I pressed it again for 5 seconds at the same temperature. After the first layer, make sure to always use a Teflon sheet to cover your design between each press. This will protect the vinyl that has already been pressed from melting onto the heat plate. Remove the carrier sheet and continue the same process until you get to the last layer. Having the right amount of pressure on your heat press is also important. If you're using a Cricut Easy Press, medium pressure is what you want to aim for every press. Once you're done layering all of the colors, flip your shirt over and press it from the back. By adding pressure and heat to the back, this last step helps set all of the layers together. This is our first completed shirt. Now let's move on to the next one. I'm repeating the same steps again. First, I pre-press the shirt for a few seconds, then I go over it with a lint roller and begin the layering process with the bottom layer. Layering vinyl might look intimidating at first. I remember when I first started experimenting with iron-on vinyl, it was something I struggled with, but I promise it gets easier the more you practice this technique. It's not as bad as you might think, just take your time as you're learning. I typically layer each color separately to avoid overlapping the vinyl with the carrier sheet. However, it is possible to layer a few at a time if you trim the plastic around the vinyl if you need to. To help your HTV shirts last, I recommend washing them inside out and using low to medium heat when drying. Again, to finish the shirt, I flipped it over and pressed it from the back. As you can see, the BELLA+CANVAS shirts are still very stretchy even after adding a few layers of iron-on vinyl. Make sure to check out their new baby tee collection. They also have so many other styles of apparel available to personalize. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time with a new DIY.